Let's go. What's up, everybody? This is Beyond with Jazz here. We bring back the culture speaks.
Jazz, just jazz.
What you want me to say,
Oh,
Jasmine?
the love of my life, the one
I,
for me,
I don't know what you're talking about right now.
just jazz. Okay,
Hey, I
cool.
gotta stay
Hello,
professional, hey?
everybody. All right. Hello, everybody. Um, Missed you guys.
Yeah,
And
we all are missed. Yeah.
yeah, our last episode was, I didn't think anybody would like it, but we got a lot of responses like, you guys are so funny. So now we've set the bar so high, man. Like, now I'm being forced to be funny. Do
Yeah.
you feel that way?
I'm not even that funny, but mm,
Oh
yeah.
my God. Today, we're going to try our best to be serious. We set a goal, we set some serious topics, and we're going to try our best to keep it, you know,
Yeah.
not be giggly. But yeah, our last video, we got a lot of feedback, and thank you so much for listening. And we hope you guys enjoy today's episode.
But before we go there, people, please, like, we got a lot of views and few subscribers. So if y'all listen, y'all might as well just subscribe, so we can have
So
our
we so we
subscribers,
can
yeah.
provide for future children. subscribe subscribe to our channel if you're listening. Please subscribe. We have a lot more to come. We have a few guests in the works. We have video in the works. Yeah, there's lots of few surprises coming. I can't wait. So today we're going to talk about mental health, and that's kind of scary, and
Touchy
I don't
subject.
know, it's very touchy subject, but it's something that we've been thinking about discussing. We've barely discussed it in our personal lives, but I feel like lately we had a few ups and downs, school stress, life stress, and we figured, we want to keep this podcast, you know, like what we have going on currently. So I feel like talking about mental health today would be a pretty good idea.
I'm
So,
I'm not gonna lie. I almost don't want to talk about it because it's touchy and I don't want to say something that gonna trigger somebody. You know what I'm saying?
and also, we're not
Yeah.
used to talking about mental health. One, we're Black. Two, we are immigrants. And, I come from a place where growing up, I didn't hear about mental health and those kind of things. I just didn't have that conversation at all. What about you? Like in
Yeah,
Ethiopia, do you guys?
I never had a conversation about mental health. Um, well, right now, and I'm in United States, looking back home, and some of the stuff that happening to like some people back there. I say some of them are due to like mental health, but due to mental health issues, but they don't see it like that because you back home you don't run to nobody with no with a problem because everybody got their own problems. So
Mhm.
yeah, but yeah, that's something that need to be taken serious because yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like in Dominica, we if we kind of tease it a little bit, we say, "Oh, Mister's a madman. This go crazy." Like we sweep it under the rug a little bit. Oh, they went mad, they went crazy, but in reality, maybe that person just needed a therapist,
Yeah.
a psychiatrist, like just somebody to talk to, you know.
Yeah,
But
I
what?
guess it's entire black people. Even now I'm in United States, they be like, yo, black people don't go to no therapist. But at the end of the day, you're a human being. So if you got a mental issue, you're gonna have to see a therapist and talk. And the problem is talking to somebody about your problem. Maybe all you need is just talk to somebody about your problems, and then you get a response, and then maybe it's not something that bad, and if you talk to somebody about it, you get a solution, and you don't have to go through it alone. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, have you ever spoken to anyone regarding, your own internal struggles? Because we all have internal struggles. We all have something that, plays in our mind a little bit, or maybe we're fixated on something, or maybe we have a problem that we don't want to talk to our friends about. Do you have, like, not saying what problems do you have, but I'm saying, have you ever thought about speaking with someone?
Well, again, I grew up in Africa. You don't go to somebody with your problems. But the only person that talk to me, that come to me and be like, "Yo, you have a problem? Talk to me. We're gonna see what to do." It's my dad.
Hmm.
You always, because for one, when I grew up back home, he was here. He was here since I was young. So we didn't have that bond to like run to you with my problems when there is something, we didn't have that bond. But I guess we kind of have it now because, but yeah, back in the day, I don't go to him with anything. He just have to see for himself and then be like, oh yeah, maybe even for like money when I came down here, I wasn't working and I didn't want to ask. I don't want to ask
Hmm.
either. So
Hmm.
it's like, yo, you need to ask, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And then one day he just come home and he's like, "Yo, what you doing home today?" And then later on he realized, "Oh yeah, he probably don't have money right now." So yeah, he go to bank and get and withdraw some money and give it to me. But
That
yeah,
Chase, that nice Chase bank you have over there,
but yeah, I don't really. That's the only person I talk to with my problems.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you have that person to talk to because a lot of people can't go to their parents. They may be afraid. I mean, me personally, I've never had an issue where I had to bring it to them. But I've had things where I'm like, maybe I should one day. But then again, that's a luxury. It's not cheap.
Yeah,
And most insurance, they don't cover those things. So
yeah,
that's something definitely I would like to see change in the world and in the future. But make it more affordable.
yeah.
Get
But
rid of stereotype where, oh, she gonna go see a therapist. Something must
yeah,
be wrong with her. Like,
yeah.
because I feel like if you had come to me like when I first came here and you told me, oh yeah, I go to a therapist once a week, I would look at you a little funny and be like,
No, that's
mm,
true though, because like back home, that's the biggest problem. As a guy, you ain't supposed to break down at all.
mhm,
You
mhm,
cannot. You have to like because well, we believe back home. I get kind of sexist, but like we believe, but it's true, but it's sexist the same way, the same time. But like they believe like females do break down, you know. So a man ain't supposed to break down because if your partner break down, you have to be the strong one to like. Because if y'all both break down, things gonna be a
mhm,
disaster. So you it's up to men to like be calm all the time. So now back home, as a guys, we don't run
mhm,
to anybody with problems because people are gonna be looking at you like, what? You think I
mhm,
don't have my own problems? So yeah,
mhm.
it's
I,
really difficult. Really difficult. Yeah.
and not to be a hypocrite, and I need you to block your ears for this part. Take your headphones off. But I dated someone. I went on a date with someone, and chatting away, and then he mentioned, I just got released tonight from the Red River Hospital. So I'm like, oh, okay, everything all right? Because when I hear hospital, I'm thinking like you broke your finger or your tummy hurts or you
Red
have a
River,
headache.
man.
And when we moved on from the conversation, I'm thinking, wait a minute, Red River, that's
It's
like a mental
mental, yeah,
institution.
yeah.
So when it finally clicked and I asked him, I was like, not to be in your business, but Red River, isn't that like a, mental
Yeah,
institution? And he was like, yeah, I tried to commit suicide, and I'm not gonna lie, that was a little too much baggage on a first date. So
yeah.
I did block him after that, but
Hey,
I wasn't ready to handle like dating somebody
you're
who's
wrong. You're wrong for that, cause
suicidal. I am, and I'll take it, but I just wasn't ready to. Yeah, I didn't have the mindset that I have today. Obviously, I'm more mature now, and I understand the importance of mental health now. But that was a little too much, and I know I would, looking back, I would thank him for being honest and sharing that, because that's a vulnerable thing to share.
yeah, yeah. That's yeah, but
But
if
I
I just,
just,
I,
I, and I'm
I'm
to
trying
this
not to
day,
be.
I not to laugh,
I'm trying
not
to
to
be
laugh, but
serious, but
I really couldn't take it, and today maybe I still can't take it, but I definitely would be willing to help,
listen to you.
and
Yeah,
and listen, and at the time I definitely wasn't in a place to listen to somebody telling me that kind of thing, but it's definitely important to take the time and talk to somebody. Like you say, you can talk to your dad, but um yeah, I just think it needs to be, I guess, normalized. I've thought about it. I know on my university campus there's that resource and it's free, and I'm just like, do I really want to share my problems though? Like, I feel like there's other people who have it worse than me.
yeah,
Sometimes I
yeah.
feel like I have anxiety and I would love to talk to somebody about that, but then I'm just like, right now at some point, somebody is like on their last breath, and I'm all here like, oh, I feel a little anxious sometimes, so I'm sometimes I feel like I don't play my own problems because I'm also very grateful for where I am in life. So, I still try to not think like mental health is a priority, but it is. It is a priority. It plays a key role in our everyday health, though.
Yeah, the thing about it is you're not gonna know until you break down one day and you can and you like you haven't thought of killing yourself and all that stuff. That's when you know,
Mm-hmm.
oh shit, I do have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. Like you're not gonna know until like you just you keep telling yourself, oh yeah, I'm strong. I'll let I can take care of this. I can take care of this until like later on you like you suicide
Mm-hmm.
walking suicidal and shit and yeah,
And then everybody wondering is like, wow,
yeah,
what's wrong? I just saw him
that's
the other
true.
day. He seemed fine. It's because we don't talk about it. And unfortunately, you definitely have to change. And like I say, I may not be somebody you want to come tell your problems to, but just making sure you have a resource on, okay, you know what, I can go to my dad, and don't be afraid to go to him or go to somebody else. So what are some ways you cope with stress? Because stress is they come hand in hand sometimes, because I know when I'm super stressed, my mental health goes on a decline as well. So is there any way you cope with stress?
Yeah, I mean, most of the time like I just go for I'll be trying to figure out what making me stress and
Mm,
then kind of find out if I have a solution for that.
mm-hmm.
And it's crazy because most of the times I'll be stressed with something. Everything I'll be stressed about can be fixed easily if I have money. You know what I'm saying?
99 problems, but
Yeah, my
money can
nine
solve all
problems
of
is
that.
money, bro. Like, so it's like I know this is the problem. I know this what's making me stressed right now to the point where
Hmm.
I'll go out there and work every time. If I have money right now, everything will be fine.
Yeah, I rather cry in a Lamborghini than cry at the bus stop. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
hey, for the people who say, hey,
Money
money
can.
can buy happiness, hey, you better think again, cause mm-mm. I'm telling you, I'll be. Yeah, I mean, I don't have major issues to the point where I'll be stressed, except for like classes last time.
Mm-hmm.
The one I remember that the ones that I still remember is the graduation thingy. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was like I think it's like more. I was just stressed and also frustrated because that thing could have been resolved, and I'd
Yeah, well,
be
they don't know what you're talking about.
okay. I mean, I don't
So,
I ain't trying to put it out there,
and
so
I know you're not trying to talk about it, but
no.
definitely school can be a major cause of stress. I've had it's summer break, and then I'll wake up like, oh my God, did I turn this assignment in? And then I have to remind myself, oh, summer, no class.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have definitely have that trauma, and I've heard of people who graduated years ago still traumatized about that.
Yep. That
My more specifically, is there anything you do recreational wise that can kind of, I don't know, calm you down? Or do you want are you one of these people who go for a run? Do you go for a long drive? What do you do?
well,
Do
now
you
that I'm in the
pray?
United States,
What
I say it's a long drive, or I'll go somewhere and just sit down by myself. Just
Mhm.
that's how I know I'm stressed when I find myself wanting to be by myself all the times. So yeah,
Mhm.
because like I go sit down somewhere by myself, clear my head, and see where my problems really coming from, and
Me,
try to fix them.
I personally I like distraction. I feel like that's how I deal with my stress. Something might be playing on my mind, and I just try to ignore it and distract myself.
I
I'll go
used to
cook, I'll watch a show, I'll watch a movie. I just anything that can get my mind off of it.
I used to do that, but
Hmm.
the thing is, it don't work for
It
me.
comes
Like
back.
I used to go, maybe I'll go out, get a couple drinks, and
Hmm.
then come home to sleep, and in the morning you're gonna hit me back. So it's like,
Back at it again, yeah.
yeah. So I'd rather just go around and look for a solution than distract myself and then hit me again when that distraction wear off.
Yeah, and I'm not
Yeah.
super religious, but I do feel like sometimes when I'm like, you know what, it's in God's hands. Every time I'm get to that point where, you know what, it's in God's hands, like a couple of days later, it just fixes itself, whatever I was stressing about. So I would say, not that I ain't the, Christian to look up to, but I do feel like sometimes when I pray about it, or when I'm like, just let it be, let it play out, whatever happens, happens. When I switch to that mentality, I feel like it kind of works itself out.
Yeah.
And um, I also feel like the people around us have play a key role in our everyday lives and our everyday mental health. And you know I- I'll just jump straight to the point, which is, you know have any friendships, have you changed since any of your friendships? Are you still friends with the people you used to be friends with in the past? Like, still got your same squad? Like, how is the friendships around you?
Well,
Like,
I still got all of my squads. I'm not saying the relationship is still the same. I got all the
mm-hmm,
squads. We can like I still got friends from high school. We meet up sometimes. We meet up. We have a couple drinks, whatever. But from that squad, there's certain people I know. If I have a certain problem, I can depend on, and there's some people I know from that squad. I'm not gonna depend on them, and I'm not gonna waste my time because I know they're gonna let me down when the
mm-hmm.
time comes. So
so,
I
so
still have them,
why
but it just in the category where this person gonna I know I'm gonna depend on them, and this person I'm not definitely gonna depend on them. So, but we still gonna be friends. We still gonna have a good time when
well
we
how
to have a good time.
how can you categorize them as a friend and then in the same breath say, I can't depend on you? Shouldn't the two mix? Because I know I'm not calling you a friend. You will not be categorized as a friend unless I feel like I can confide in you to an extent. I can confide in you, I can rely on you, and vice versa. I want you to know you can confide in me and you can rely on me, and therefore I categorize you as a friend. You might not hold that high standard of best friend, because no, that's another whole other level. I think I only have two people that I'll say is my best friend, because I know if I fall today, they're gonna be the first person to pick me up. So why would you categorize somebody who you can't rely on or
Well,
trust as a
l-
friend?
like I said, we're friends. Trust, I trust them, but I can't. I'm not gonna depend on them. If you know what I'm
Mm,
saying. I know
mhm,
there's some people like if I need help right now, no matter where I'm at,
mhm,
they're gonna be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna hit the road. I'm gonna come help me. I'm gonna help you with whatever going on. And I know from that said group of friends, I know there's if I call somebody from there, some of them might be like, oh yeah, I'm busy. I'm not gonna make it.
mhm,
We're still
mhm,
friends, but our level of friendship is not like as strong as the other person. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
From the group, yeah. I mean, well, what I was trying to say is like the bond is stronger between like the other friends and the other friends.
Yeah, and I can see
Yeah,
you trying not to call any names.
yeah. Like I'm just saying, like yeah,
But as your girlfriend, I watch who comes around you. I'm a hawk. Hmm? I watch who comes around you, and I also analyze them too, because you you're an okay, that's fine kind of guy. If they need you to do something, you're like, okay, that's fine. But then I also watch you needing help and you're having to ask 4 or 5 people. So for me, I really, and at the end of the day, it is your decision, and I can't control that or even try to control that. But I'm just waiting for, like, man, I hope one day he ends contact with this person, because as your girlfriend, I can see that this interaction is not equal. And I feel like other people who are in relationships, I feel like, or maybe it's a woman thing, but we can see the certain friends in your group that shouldn't be in your group. Or maybe guys can, or maybe you, Beyond, can see my friends and be like, that girl shouldn't be her friend. But I feel like for me, you might not even have that feeling, because I I hang out with one person. You know what I mean? I hang out with one
yeah.
person, and that is my person. My other person is in Dominica, so you haven't seen that interaction. But I hang out with one person, so I keep my circle, as they say, small, but I'm friendly to everybody. You understand? I have
Hmm.
my one friend, and I'm friendly to everybody. That's it. So, when would you say is a good time to move on from your friends, where you're just like, you know what? Like, have you ever had to cut off a friendship,
Yeah.
or you have to?
Hmm. I had to um I had to cut off a couple people. Not because one thing about me, like if you need my help, I'm gonna help you without expectation.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? If I help you and I have a problem, I might not even call for you for help because I know what
Mm-hmm.
kind of person you are. Just because I help you doesn't mean that I'm gonna depend on you for help. Cause I know everybody, I know how everybody are around me, sadly, but like you can that's the kind of person I am. Just because I know I'm not gonna depend on you, I'm not gonna if you need my help, I am gonna help you. I mean, now I'm not gonna go extra mile to help you,
Mm-hmm.
but I am gonna help you if I can do that at the moment. But yeah, there's some people I cut off
Mm-hmm.
for it's not really because they're not there for me, it's because but only because the direction they were going it's not where I want to be in the next years. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
So so I don't see myself in that kind of situation, and I'm not gonna surround myself with those kind of people, if you know what I'm saying. Like, because where I'm at
Mm-hmm.
right now, I'm not I'm going to where I want to do good for my future and my
Mm-hmm.
future kids
Mm-hmm.
and my family. So, and the career path I'm taking, it can only take one thing for it to be over.
Mm-hmm.
So I see a couple friends going through where it's like kind of risky.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, nah, that's I don't want to go there because I'm like I'm going a different direction and you're going a totally different direction. So we cannot hang out. If you know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Yeah.
And unfortunately, I too have had a tough time letting go of some friends, but I knew it had to happen for my own mental health. I remember the first major friendship I had to end was I was in high school, and I called this girl my best friend. Like, I would sleep over, she would sleep over by me, and then she would do something where one day she would just stop talking to me. And she would make the other girls around her stop talking to me. And then I would come to school and I'd feel, I'm not sure of that word, but I'd feel just out of the clique.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, man, what I do? And I would find myself messaging her like, hey, I'm so sorry, like if I did anything. And I didn't do anything. And I realized, man, this is really toxic kind of energy because she's just putting me out of the group. And to this day, I don't know why, but that, used to make me feel really bad and just started to think very less of myself. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to an all girls school. There's so many other girls to make friends with. Let me just leave it there and move on. And as soon as I changed to that mindset, she started like just trying to be around me all the time. And I was just like, nah, that's not the kind of environment I want to be in. And I stopped talking to her. And unfortunately, she went down a pretty bad path the last time I tried to see what she had going on. She went down a pretty bad path in life. And I always thought, man, could that have been me if I stayed in that environment?
Yeah. Yeah.
But sometimes it's really hard. And what, 2 3 years ago, somebody I called one of my best friends, and again, there's a handful of people I called my best friends, had to put them down because I realized they don't have my best interests at heart. Me and you started dating, and they started to become distant. And that was somebody I did all activities with. If there was anything going on, that would be the first person I invite, bring them around my family, introduce them to Caribbean people. And once I saw that me and you, Beyond and Jasmine, was getting closer, they start to distance themselves. And I'm like, if you were truly my friend, seeing me in a healthy relationship should be something you want for me, right? It
Yeah.
shouldn't be something that makes you go away. So I definitely had to get out of that and just let that run its course, I would say. Because sometimes you try to hold on to relationships and friendships and all these things, whereas the best thing is to just let it play out and just let it be.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it'd be well, I mean, I know what you're talking about, but
Hmm.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
and
get
all,
into
all I'm
that.
trying, we're not trying to shade nobody over here. You know yourself if you no, but
But I
unfortunately, you
mean,
just have to let some friendships run its course. And throwing one more shade out there, there used to be somebody, she had nowhere to go, and I opened my home and I asked for nothing. And as soon as they got back on their feet, there was no form of communication with me, and that let leave me feeling in a place of, man, I wonder what I did wrong. But at the end of the day, I knew I did something nobody else would do, which is open their home and let you stay as long as you wanted, and stuff like that. And it's just like, sometimes you just have to let people go and not dwell on it and stuff like that, for your own, again, for your own mental health, because friendships are really, really important. And you know yeah, having the
Yeah,
right people around you.
yeah. It's tough because I remember my thing relationship it was tough. It was I had to like I had no friends, eh?
Hmm.
That's the crazy part. I can, right now I'll go out with my boys on Thursday and stuff. And none of that.
Unfortunately.
And none of that. We
Hmm.
had to, yeah, and none of that because coming back home is an argument.
Hmm.
So I was stressed. That stress right there was like I was like, yo, I cannot do this. Like, so I had to like even though it hurt because that it lowered my grades because
Hmm.
I was still in the school back then. Yeah, it lowered my grades. So I was like, you know what, this that's- I'm looking at my future. That ain't gonna help me long term.
Hmm.
So I was like, I'm still young because I was still
Hmm.
young. So I was like, ain't no, I have to let it go because this is not gonna help me in the long term. Um, and it's not gonna help me get where I want to get either. Because if this stress lowered my grades and I was still in like uh uh uh, uh junior
High school,
college,
junior
no, it was
college.
yeah.
Hmm.
While if what if I get to like graduate school,
Mm.
I'm gonna fail, and there you can only fail a couple times, not
And
even private one. But yeah.
relationships aren't easy.
Hmm.
So, it's definitely something you have to work so much at. And sometimes you want to give up, but, if that's your person, that's your person. But, all right.
So. Well, you wanna give a source for?
Yes, yes. Shh, shut up.
Mhm.
So I really enjoyed, talking about mental health today, because we're just going to keep it short. So if what we were saying triggered anybody or brought up some feelings, and they have no one to confide in at home, just know that you can call or text a helpline that's willing to talk. You can text and call 988, and it's 24 hours, and there's always somebody who can talk to you if you're feeling, you know, like you're on the verge of doing something that you shouldn't do. Please use this resource to contact someone. There are 24 hours, there's somebody who is always willing to listen. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode. Beyond, please tell them where they can follow us.
Guys, we need followers on Instagram. Even though we haven't posted anything yet, we were just waiting to get a certain stuff together, and then we could post after that. So follow us on Instagram on official_culture speaks. Again, official_culture speak. And also don't forget we still have our Spotify. So go out there on Spotify, Culture Speak, and listen to us, please. And
And
also YouTube. Our YouTube is growing. Our YouTube is growing. So thank y'all so much for coming on, listening to us. Cause now we don't have a lot of subscribers, but we got a lot of listeners. So y'all go out there and subscribe. God.
subscribe.
All right,
All
guys.
right, bye.
Bye.